Welcome in Zolder in Belgium for the 5th round of the Renault Clio Cup Benelux. This is the weekend of the Zolder 24 hours, and there's plenty of Belgians at the start in the Clio Cup as well. And one of them is young talent Régis Gosselin. Yes, it is pretty wonderful to be able to drive here. I had a testing day as well, because this is my very first season in motor racing. And thanks to the F team, we've had some partners and sponsors here that gave me the opportunity to do some nice preparation. So I'm fourth on the grid now, in front of my home ground, which is a fantastic thing. Weather conditions might surprise everybody. There's rain in the air. What do you prefer? Well, it's very difficult because it might rain, it might not. Nobody can predict what will happen, because in dry conditions it's very close racing, but it's a slippery track after all. So even if it starts to rain, it might be not wet enough to take off the slicks. So I hope it will stay dry. And then we can't predict anything. Loris Heesemans, one of the other Belgians at the start.
Nou, dit weekend, ik hoop voor een hele goede start.
I'm aiming for a good start, and we're not sure yet whether it will rain or not. If it rains, it will be our first race in the wet. But I think it will be a good race. I'm aiming for a top 5 finish. I might even go for a podium. Sebastian Blekemolen, leader in the championship.
Sebastian Blekemolen.
Will we get an exciting race like in Assen? Oh, it's looking good. It went well in qualifying. I have a double pole position, but this is a short track with some technical corners, so we'll see. And where do you start from? I start twice from a pole position today, so that's a good opportunity. Dead Michael Blekemolen taking a picture there of son Sebastian. Sebastian Blekemolen on pole position, with next to him Niels Langeveld on the front row. And on the second row it's Melvin de Groot and Régis Gosselin. And we take the start on board the car from Wilbert Vandenberg. And there's one of the green cars from Dekker Racing who has a lousy start. I think that was team captain Marcel Dekker in front. Meanwhile, Sebastian Blekemolen has taken the best start from Langeveld. Then Melvin de Groot in the white Clio, and Régis Gosselin in the Clio with the Belgian flag colours, losing a position. This is Jan Muis, one of the other Dekker Racing drivers. Around 10th position, I think, right behind Loris Heesemans in the white Clio with the Belgian flag. Langeveld now leading, has passed Blekemolen just before the chicane, with Morian now in 5th position. And here's Marcel Dekker trying to make up for that bad start. He's going on the grass. He's going wide into the tire barrier, and I'm afraid that's the end of his race. Oh, he tries to continue, but I'm afraid that his Clio is well damaged by now. Langeveld leading from Blekemolen, then de Groot, then Gosselin, then Robert Vandenberg, and Stefan Polderman in 6th. Close racing here in the Clio Cup Benelux. Identical machinery, of course. But, Langeveld aiming for a win. Trying to make up points to this man in the championship. Dominating since the start of the season. And here's the fight in the Clio challenge for the previous version of the Renault Clio. Here's Jan Muis trying to get past Loris Heesemans. In front of Heesemans it's Michael Blekemolen. This is a fight for 7th or 8th position. Good fight, close fighting. Top 5 is running away with it seems. Langeveld still leading from Blekemolen. Gosselin now putting Blekemolen under pressure. And Polderman doing the same with Ronald Morian. Going through the first left-hand corner and then trying on the outside in the canal corner. Will be difficult for Polderman, and shortly afterwards he loses the car and hits the inside tire barrier here in the Bianchi corner, and that's the end of his race. And there's a safety car intervention. So all gaps are eliminated. Langeveld from Blekemolen and Gosselin. And the stricken car from Stefan Polderman is towed away. Restart then with Langeveld still leading from Blekemolen. Gosselin third. Put under pressure by Vandenberg, who in his turn has Ronald Morian in his mirrors. Wilbert Vandenberg trying to make up places in the Clio Challenge. It'll not be easy. Langeveld and Blekemolen, then Gosselin, Vandenberg, Morian, Meus, and Hazemans. Meus making a mistake, coming out of the chicane, losing a position to Hazemans, and he's trying to make up for that now. Jan Meus here in the hairpin corner. On up 2 wheels and off he goes. Jan Meus rolling his car, and that's the retirement for the Dakar Racing driver. Langeveld has taken the lead. Has taken the lead over Blekemolen, while Gosselin is put under pressure from Vandenberg. And this is the last corner. Langeveld takes the win, and Vandenberg taking third position away from Régis Gosselin in the final corner. The Belgian made a mistake and lost the podium finish in front of his home crowd, which is very disappointing, of course.
Super course.
It was a great race. Yes, it was a great race just until the last corner. I made a mistake in the last corner, and Vandenberg passes me. I'm really disappointed. I was third for the whole race. It was even second for a while when the Blekemolen made a mistake. Then I made a mistake, and he passed me again. But then I was third just until the last corner, so I'm disappointed. It's like that. It's a lack of experience. So, and Blekemolen second.
En moeilijke wedstrijd.
Difficult race. Yes, it was a difficult race. The car didn't perform well, not as in qualifying anyway. So I had to push hard to keep in second. That's a good thing, but I'm not really. It was not my best race.
De leukste race.
And Niels Langeveld winning the race in Zolder.
Niels, tevreden?
Niels, happy? No, not really, no. No, of course I'm happy. I'm only kidding. Of course I'm happy. This is really wonderful. The car is going like in 2012, where we're running in front as well. And we got that pace and that vibe back now in the team. So we're well in front of the others. This car is going that well. I'm really happy with this car, and I'm very proud of this win. With Gosselin winning the junior rankings and Peter Schreers first of the Clio Challenge, while Morian completing the top 5 in race 1 in Zolder. And then it's off to race 2, another 30 minutes of hardcore racing. Again with Sebastian Blekemolen on the front row from Niels Langeveld. Langeveld aiming for a second win, of course. Melvin de Groot, who had to retire in race 1, aiming for a points finish, while Régis Gosselin is aiming for that podium finish in front of his home ground. And we take the start with the Belgian. Lights go out, and it's a good start from Gosselin, passing Melvin de Groot, who was on the second row with him. And in front it's Blekemolen who had the best start, but Langeveld tries to pass him on the outside of the first corner, and then thinks the best of it and remains behind the championship leader. Here we are with Sebastian Blekemolen coming out of corner number 3, and there's Niels Langeveld, exactly like he did in the race number 1. Better acceleration out of the corners, and he takes the lead even before going halfway through the first lap. So, and Melvin de Groot is now in third as well, made the same maneuver on Régis Gosselin, while Michael Blekemolen is in 6th. Here we are with Loris Hazemans behind Ronald Morian and Marcel Dekker, the only one of the Dakar Racing team in this race, with Jan Meus being out after rolling his car in race 1. Hazemans aiming for a top 5 finish, but that will be very difficult. Langeveld and Blekemolen getting away from de Groot, who has to defend his position from Gosselin. Gosselin really wants the podium finish this time. Squandered it in race 1 by going wide in the final corner, and now putting pressure on Melvin de Groot, who was second in the championship before coming to Zolder, but has lost a lot of points in race number 1. And Gosselin going on the inside. That will be a difficult maneuver, but because now he has to let the car drift wide, and he makes contact with the car of Melvin de Groot, with Robert Vandenberg closing the gap together with Marcel Dekker. Marcel Dekker now behind Melvin de Groot in the green car, pushing de Groot under pressure. De Groot losing it, going wide in the chicane. What happened there? Let's take a look from Marcel Dekker. Oh, and there's a small contact. Just a small nudge, enough to send De Groot off. And that's retirement again for De Groot. That's no points from this Zolder weekend. And that's ruining his title chances. Marcel Dekker now fighting with Ronald Morion. Dekker going wide now. And Heeseman's taking advantage of that. Getting one position closer to that top 5 finish. He's in 6th now and has to pass Ronald Morion. Top 4 remains unchanged with Langeveld, Blekemolen and Gosselin, Vandenberg. And then the fight for 5th between Morion, Heesemans, Dekker, Michael Blekemolen and Stefan Polderman, who has repaired his car after that heavy crash in race number 1. Blekemolen trying to keep up with Langeveld to try and stop him towards a 2nd win this weekend. Here we are with Heesemans putting Morion under pressure. Morion the first corner going wide. The car was sliding even on entry. Goes wide and Heesemans is inside the top 5 now, and there's a problem with the car of Morion, I think. With the right rear brake locking up all the time. Langeveld still leading from Blekemolen, and that's a serious gap, and it's the fight for 3rd again. Who's the most exciting? We're almost at the last corner. Here he is. Langeveld going for a double win. Blekemolen taking 2nd, and who will finish 3rd this time? It's Régis Gosselin, has kept it clean and crosses the line in front of his home ground in 3rd position.
Finalement podium.
And the podium's there, yes, finally. It was very difficult race. It was very close from the start. And Vandenberg put pressure on me because I lost some time when I had to lap another car, so I had to push right until the end, which was difficult because the brakes were gone, the tires were gone, but I have the podium now.
Het ziet naar uit dat
There was not much you could do this weekend. No, Niels was quite quick this weekend, so I had pole position for both races, but in the race Niels was just a bit quicker, but my car went better than in race 1, so that's good. There's Langeveld winning both races in Zolder.
Ik was de eerste race zoveel sneller.
I was that much quicker in race 1, so I thought to myself I had to win the 2nd one as well. My start wasn't that good, but behind me they had not a good start as well. And then in corner number 2 I did exactly the same as in race 1, and I passed him on the inside. But I had a small problem with the brakes. I had to brake 5 or 6 meters earlier. But we take 42 points here, and that's a very good thing for the championship. Langeveld on the top step of the podium again. And these are the results of race number 2. Langeveld winning it from Blekemolen, Gosselin in 3rd, and first of the junior races, Vandenberg in 4th, and Heesemans in 5th. And these are the standings in the championship, with Blekemolen now ahead of Langeveld with a 34 points lead. Melvin de Groot is in 3rd from Dekker, and Gosselin is now in 5th. And that's the end of our report. See you next time.